Hi guys, this is Matti Ace, and today's nostalgia trip to Battlefield 1 takes us back to this weapon, the Fedorov, and we'll be using mostly the optical version. Now, the majority of this video is going to be from Argonne Forest, and that is because I have been using this weapon mainly for close quarter combat situations. The first 3 minutes of the video, however, is going to be from a variety of other different maps. In this scenario, I'm trying to defend the D flag from the enemies coming from E. And this weapon is not really that good for hipfire, but as I'm sure you know, any weapon can be used for hipfire given the situation. Now personally I like them both, but I just end up with the optical more often than the trench. This is the trench version, however, and of course it is much better for hipfire, which can look like this. So now the medic class can cause a lot of frustration, especially if you play with medics that don't revive or drop heals. At the same time, it can be equally frustrating to be a medic if the players that you play with doesn't have the patience to wait for you to revive them in situations where you might have to fight off a few more enemies before you can actually bring the needle out. Now, some players focus mostly on reviving and healing. Others, such as myself, I mainly see the medic class as a combat class, and I go for the revives that I can go for without taking too many unnecessary risks. However, I want to show you a quite interesting situation of a revive that requires both the medic to be relatively experienced and the fallen player to be experienced enough to understand that a medic can't just run up and revive you if the situation doesn't allow for it. Now, the guy that I'm going to revive is not one of my regular players, but I do recognize him. He's been playing on the same server as me several times, both as an opponent and as a teammate, and he's lying here in front of the opening to the bunker of B. Now, getting the revive is quite risky in itself just because it's very close to the bunker entrance, but also I had to kill that sentry before I could tuck away my weapon. Now, of course, when you are the player that is down, you can't turn the angle of the camera, so you may not have a chance to see what situation the medic player in your team is in and whether or not he can just rush up and revive you or not. It's very easy, especially for inexperienced players, to just get a little bit frustrated and go for a respawn instead. Now, obviously, the decisions are easier to take if you know the players you're playing with, but for the most part, or at least sometimes, being a little patient when you see that the medics are around you normally does pay off. Not always, of course, but maybe it doesn't hurt that much to wait a second or two extra. Me, I make the mistake of respawning way too quickly, way too often.
Oh, shit, I'm out of ammo.
We have taken objective butter.
Want those wounds patched? Hurt? I'll patch you up. First aid, get patched up. Medical pass for you. Right there. First aid.
A flame trooper kit is available near your location.
Ah!
Now, funny as it is, This is not even my favorite medic weapon. Don't get me wrong, I think it's fantastic, but there are many fantastic weapons for the medic class. The odd loading extended, for example, or the Farquhar Hill are weapons that I feel like, generally speaking at least, I do better with. But then again, this is CQC, and, well, that's, I guess, where the Fedorov really does excel, even though if you tap fire with this weapon and almost pretend like it is a semi-automatic weapon, it's basically as accurate as many of the other weapons for this class actually is. So now, because I was able to do pretty well there about half a minute ago, I was able to get on this flank. Check this out.
Nice flank also.
They did not see me coming, and here I can hear that there is another guy next to me. I just don't know exactly where, so I'm looking for him here. Let's see if I can find him. There we go, proning on top of the bunker.
You're injured. I can help.
And that's why you don't want to go for every revive. See, I know that there's a lot of people that are not all that happy with the quality of the stream when we're on Argon Forest, and that's because of all the details, the foliage and all that stuff that's on this map. However, I hope the quality is better here on YouTube, at least high enough quality so that it's enjoyable to watch. And as you may or may not know, I've switched from Twitch to YouTube for my live stream, and I hope I'll see you here again soon enough. Thanks for watching.
No, I was reloading. Shit. 22 kill streak.
We have taken objective Edward.
Take that first aid.
No.
Take the medical patch. First aid, use it.
No, shotgun.
An enemy armored train is en route. Halfway there, we have the upper hand.
Pretty good. Pretty good. How you guys doing? KS, what's up?
An enemy armored train has arrived.
trooper!
We control all objectives. We have lost objective Edward.
No!
We are losing objective Duff.
No! I didn't get away. Shit.
There's some first aid!
You fucking stay prone when I click the prone key, please, game.
Objective Charlie.
You got damage? I'll fix you up!